So good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Chase with the Chase Group, and we're here in Aliso Viejo, and we are with our local mortgage lender, Bryan Wilson, with Aliso Niguel Mortgage, and he's going to talk to us about an opportunity for a buy down with your client. So let's say that you are a local seller here, and the market right now, we have 101 properties that are on the market. So we have an abundance of properties. How can you have a cutting advantage over, let's say, somebody else if you're really wanting to get your home sold? And the 2-1 buy down is something that's very hot. It's hit the market right now, and we're going to talk to Bryan about it. So Bryan, tell me, what is this 2-1 buy down, and how does it help the seller, and how does it help the buyer?
Well, the two sides of it are, and thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. Okay, so the 2-1 buy down is the buzzword right now in the industry. Everybody's calling me on buyers or the real estate agents. What is a 2-1 buy down? Well, a 2-1 buy down is typically you negotiate with a seller that's motivated to sell their home. They are willing to pay a fee to the lender to basically buy down your interest rate the first 2 years from the final rate will be at. So for an example, say the current rate is at 6.5%. Seller pays a fee out of their profit to the lender. The first year you get a 4.5% interest rate with a lower payment. Year two, that will adjust to 5.5%, and the payment slightly graduates up. Then at 6.5%, that would be your final rate for the next 28 years, barring if you never refinance again, which in all likelihood you would refinance.
So it's sort of like an ARM.
No, it's just it's a 30-year fix, but the lender's paying a prorated portion of your payment the first 2 years. The rate's always 6.5%, but they pay in enough to make it the equivalent where your first year payment is at a 4.5%. As a subsidy.
Got it. Okay, so it is a little bit different. But I think that might be a good option instead of doing, like, let's say that we're at $1.1 million and we want to do a price reduction. Let's say that the market, like this past week, has gone down 8%. Rather than taking a huge markdown, maybe do a option of a 2-1 buy down, because what are they looking at on, let's say, $1 million property to do a buy down?
Well, you're going to qualify on the higher end rate for sure.
But the seller, though, what would fees look like?
Well, I could, like an example, I had a purchase for $850, and to get the buy down to work, the seller is giving a credit of about $21,000.
Okay.
The house has not been moving.
Right.
And they like the rest of the package from the buyer, so they're willing to take that out of the profit of the sale, and it goes directly to the lender to use a portion of it towards the payment the first 2 years to keep it lower.
Got it.
So there is a negotiation involved with it. You have to have a seller that's motivated to do that, or there might be some other ways if you could raise the purchase price a little bit to offset it. And there's also a one buy down. So if you can't get them to pay enough for a 2-year buy down, you can split the difference, and they could do a first year buy down at 5.5%. Then it goes, so there's a bunch of different ways to to get it done.
Great. Okay, so I think that this is good news for us, and I think it just gives the buyers and sellers another option out there that maybe they weren't aware of. So thank you.
I agree. Yeah. And as this market keeps getting more difficult and hard to get people into homes, you're going to see more products like this come out, more ideas and what have you on ways to get you in there. You're going to start seeing in the near future some more income assistance stuff, down payment assistance products coming out in the near future, because it has become a tough thing to have people to find money in this expensive areas for the down payment.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you, Bryan, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.